It's taken us 10 years to finally make Smartdoll smart. And we can only do that with Cortex. So the lights over here, you can make that like pulse, basically, like as they're talking.
Yes.
Do a little Knight Rider action.
Yep. So if you want to make the head spin around when you come close to them, you can use them to like guard your house, and you can. Cortex. So this is how much effort goes into each and every one. It's a lot of work. So you have to get rid of the little crinkly hairs. So we pluck each one, and we have to do it per weft. So sometimes when the components come in, we need to like restitch them. And it's just like way too much work to like sell these like standalone. So.
Yeah, a lot of people ask why you don't sell the wigs, and it's not cost effective for you.
It's not. I mean, long time ago when we did used to sell them, we didn't have stylists. They were pretty much like shipped as they were, just like check for bugs or like check for like weird stuff.
Bald spots, hairs. Yeah.
And just like shipped out as they are basically. So I've got like 2 stylists. So she started off cutting my hair back when I did have hair, and
This is how you recruit.
that's right. Yeah. Now she's with us full time. Yeah, she doesn't really cut human hair anymore. So I went to another place. It's just across the road. We've got this other guy. So
So you.
he cuts my hair for like a while. I think, And then, would you be interested in cutting like doll hair? And I brought the doll. Let him have a look.
So who's cutting your hair now?
That guy basically. So he comes when he's not got work on that side, and he'll come over here and like he'll help out with the styling as well. Actually. So I've got like 2 stylists right now. But even though with 2, we just like can't style enough for the amount that we need to ship and for the amount of time it takes to like prepare each one basically.
Yeah, that is a lot of work.
I don't think there's many manufacturers out there who would go to this effort to do them, to be honest. I mean, as you know, the wig really is one of the components that really dictate what like a doll looks like. You know, you change the eyes, change the wig, you get like a totally different look and feel.
Yep.
Because my wigs, I basically take them from your stock. And if there's something wrong with it, then I don't want to sell it because I don't want to use it. So I have to like make sure that it's up to the qualities that I personally want to use, basically.
What do they
So the ones that go into chaos are ones which we feel that may be too tight or too loose, or there's like too much of the wig showing, or it just like looks wrong. So to answer your question, what did they look like when they come in? So they come in like, have you seen The Sixth Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger? No. It's an old film. So basically, it's about like clones. Like you've got like a blank human, and then you can copy someone's like DNA memories and so on just by looking through their retina.
Are you going through all of this just to tell me that they come in straight?
Yes. But I guess from the maker's point of view, in Korea, it's from their point of view, it's good enough to go.
Not for your standard.
No. I mean, to be fair, in the first few years, that's what we used. I think more effort can be put into them. But I think from their point of view, they want to be like cost effective and so on and so on. It's like, well, this is good enough. Please take it as it is. So, which is why we've got like stylists over here. So yeah, so this is the effort that goes into like with the eyes. So the eyes are lots of effort going to make every single eye. So before they used to be mass-produced with injection molding, and there's like good things and bad things about that. One was that we didn't have like, the flexibility of being in control of the numbers on the side. So the place that we used, they would typically overproduce, and they basically force us to buy them basically. And so yeah, it was like a weird relationship. But now we have come up with a way of making them in-house, which is a blend of pre-injection molded components and resin. And but they just take much more effort to make. So what he's doing now, he's taking some pre-soaked prints that have been soaked in resin. he makes sure that the lens is like free of dust or lint, whatever. And now he's basically facilitating the ease of attaching the base. And when you do that, you have to make sure there's like no air bubbles. So he has to go and squish each air bubble before attaching the base. So the result is basically a much more clearer eye than we've like ever produced.
The new design is also really lovely.
Mm.
It just that's really good.
So you have to like usually make sure that during the day, like, all the blinds are like closed to reduce the amount of UV light getting inside.
So much detail work.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not just doing that because you're here. I mean, that's what
he does.
So we're kind of like refining the process as we go along. Now he has to like stick it into this UV box to like cure it. So he like cure that for like a certain amount of time, and then just like make sure that it's production ready.
Amazing.
And yeah, then basically that times 2 for a doll, and then yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of work. So that's one of the reasons why we don't. Well, yeah, it's very difficult to like sell eyes on
The eye packs don't appear very often.
Yeah. So this is how we grow. We literally like grow molds basically, and you can see the mushrooms, the cordyceps, growing on them.
This is one I think you had pictures of. It looks like an elf.
Yeah.
It does look like an elf, the ears coming out from the nose.
Yeah. So that's just the outside. I mean, inside it doesn't look like that at all. But it's, as you can see, like the organic look of it, it can be unpredictable as to how it looks inside. So sometimes the head may stretch this way, it may stretch this way, and yeah, it's like really unpredictable. So it always looks different than the original 3D master.
So am I wrong? Am I right, or am I right that those like little nodules that are coming off? That's the reason why the new anime girl that you're working on has like the little pock marks.
No, not exactly. So I mean, this is just like growths which appear on like during the electroplating process, basically. So the reasons why things like that appear in here, it's a mystery even to like folks who've been like working in this industry for like tens of years, basically. Not even they know it.
Okay.
And it can be due to like many different things. That, for example, the master, someone handled it. They had like oily hands, whatever. And then when it was electroplating, that little spot of oil, it didn't allow like copper to adhere to it properly.
Okay.
It could be like lots of different things, really. It could be that during the rainy season, where it's there's much more moisture in the air, it like affects the way that things like turn out. So it could be like lots of different things, and we just don't know until you actually go ahead and like make it, really. Yeah.
So I've done a little research on electroplating, but nothing that I've seen is even like it's like you created a whole new way of utilizing it. Like mostly it's like flat or jewelry.
Yeah, the stuff that you see at home is like usually like really thin, but obviously you need to make it really thick so that it withstands up to 180 Celsius, which is times 2 plus 30 Celsius, Fahrenheit, so that it can withstand that heat and so that you can bake stuff with it. And then
How long does it actually have to electroplate for to get that thick?
yeah, I mean, for different makers, it like varies. Some people say it's maybe 3 days. Some people like ask for like 2 weeks, but we don't know whether that 2 weeks includes like lead time. And you know, it's and some of them want to like be secretive about it and so on and so on. But we've seen experiments whereby as soon as you put it in, then it starts like accumulating copper basically. Yeah. So for the pair anime girl, there's like something in the universe that just doesn't want that product to get out. There's just something. And so she's got like 3 blemishes over here, and I said, no, we were going to release it as it was basically. So I don't know where she is.
Because everybody wants it. Everybody's
Yeah,
happy.
yeah. And so I think we've basically submitted it off for masking. So that's the next step basically. But I think unless you like scrutinizing it, I don't think most people are not going to be bothered about it. So we're going with that basically. What's this? Oh, these are other modes. Oh, I think this is the original AG mode.
It's a relic.
Yeah.
It's a Smartdoll relic.
There's something from the Silence of the Lambs.
A Cyrano de Bergerac there.
Yeah.
It is actually.
Yeah, he's got quite the nose.
I think this maybe was original.
Right?
So sometimes
It's like the
they
1,000
need to
soldiers.
reinforce some parts whereby when you're pulling it constantly, when you're pulling out the vinyl constantly, that part will be susceptible to like caving inwards. So sometimes they actually add more solder to reinforce that part, especially like in between the cleavage for like busts. They do that, and the eyes as well. Otherwise they would just cave in basically. But yeah, I think that's the original aging head.
Yeah, the outside of that looks like some hyper stylized, very old thing.
Is it Patagonia? Not Patagonia soldier. The
Yeah,
terracotta soldier.
Yes.
Yeah. What's this? Oh yeah, this was just another electroplating test thing. Yeah. Yeah. So some of the factories we work with, so slush casting in Japan is dying off. It's going to die off one day, and because it's not a lot, it's incredibly labor intensive. Even though the molds, like for a few thousand dollars, you can make one. The cost from each doll, each part is it can be quite expensive, and a lot of people they're not willing to pay that. So a lot of slush casting is moving like overseas basically. So there's not a lot of places in Japan that do slush casting, and for molds there's probably there's probably 3 or 4 places left in the whole of Japan basically. So we've had to basically contact other manufacturers who do part of the process of making a mold in order to make molds basically. So whereas before one company they would make the whole thing, the whole mold with a fry pan and the frame around it with a handle. So we've gone to car manufacturers to do electroplating. So they can only do electroplating because they don't have knowledge on how to make a slush cast mold. So they do electroplating, and then we take it back, and then we have to give it to someone else to melt out the 3D on the inside. Because it's going to be 3D mold just stuck in there, and you can't. You just have to get it out basically. Then you have to melt that out. Then you need to sandblast it, and then you need to coat it. Then you need to stick it in the fry pan, and before you get a mold basically. So that's what we're doing right now, and we're working with. This is one company. They up until now they've only done gold or silver, and they've never done copper before. So we're basically teaching them how to know how to do it so that we can continue doing slush casting. So but yeah, coming along, and so the pair anime head was probably about the 3rd mold that they done for us, and I just didn't want to wait. We could have tried to refine it forever and ever, but it's it's been a while, so we're going with that mode. But at the same time, they're still practicing on other modes for us basically. That's for the future of vinyl casting in Japan. To show I did hear from one of our customers. He knows someone near New York who basically made slush casting facilities, and is the only guy in all of America that does it actually.
Really?
Yeah. So he does mostly kaiju stuff. So kaiju is a thing in America, basically. So if you go to shows like DesignerCon or Five Points Fest in Brooklyn, there'll be like lots of like softbee, like kaiju, like monster toys, basically. So a lot of them are made by that guy. So good to know. But it's just a matter of like knowing what sort of machines to get, how to get hold of the vinyl. Then someone could just start casting in the US as well, basically.
So then knowing that it's kind of a dying art,
Mm.
what do you think at some point will be the replacement?
Cortex. Cortex. So some of these are like 10 years old, and they've got this. So one of the challenges of the current set of molds right now is that because the shapes are like so different, when you bake them, they all end up with like different like thicknesses. But each hand requires different thicknesses because of the way they're modeled, basically. So we have to like put this like silicone on the outside to reduce the flow of heat to the mold, so that we can get like more even thicknesses. And but it doesn't always work, and we end up with like lots of like wastage. Sometimes they're too thick, sometimes they're too thin, and so that's why they've always ended up like a ton of hands in like the chaos, basically. So what you want to do is like chop off all the ones. Okay, down here with the solder. So so that indicates that particular finger. And because when you electroplate them, they all end up being like different thicknesses as well. So this indicates that there's too much heat getting to like this particular finger. So sometimes it may look burnt, or sometimes it becomes like short. So in vinyl, sometimes short is when the inside just like starts to crack, and so that's when the heat doesn't like get through to that part properly. So so what we're going to do is try to like group hands into group hands into similar shapes, and
Yeah, I know. Now I have to tell everybody to open up Hand Pack 3.
yeah. We'll probably give them like names, like fun names or whatever. But yeah, so we're in the middle of doing this. It's first time doing this. We're not sure how it'll go, because the problem you have is these, for example. Now, the reason why they look like that, some people have asked why funnels look like this, is because of the flow of air, to make sure that air travels in a way so that it can easily escape from here. So that's why hands need to be, if the hands were like this, then air bubbles over here, it'll be difficult for it to like go all the way around up here. So if it's like this, they can like travel up here much more easier. So that's why they are at like an angle like that. Now, because these are problematic, we've had to like separate these out to their own different molds up here. And as such, we don't have enough leeway to attach to other similar molds. So we're not too sure how it's going to go, but as with a lot of production, you just don't know what's going to happen until you actually just try it out with it. Worst case, you just put it back as it was. But just one of the production woes that we have. It's taken us 10 years to finally make Smartdoll smart, so we're putting electronics in them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So the bus originally is all screwed, so you have to like remove screws and so on. But because I wanted to get access to electronics inside, I changed everything to be magnetic. So we can do that for this as well. And then I realized, well, I've got no space for batteries, so we're going to change the frame just so that we can fit more electronics inside, basically.
Are we going to get a mechanized one?
So basically, we are working on making it Arduino compatible. So Arduino is like a standard of like microcontrollers, which has been around for like over a decade or so, and you can attach like input-output devices to them, and so you can attach motors to them, like sensors to them, and so on and so on. And because Arduino is open source, there's lots of other companies who've like used that to like make their own microcontrollers, which are a bit more advanced. So they've got like Bluetooth, gyro sensors, like Wi-Fi, and so on and so on. and we want to make it so that folks can use this to make whatever they want. So when people ask what makes them so smart, it's basically however smart you make them, basically. So if you want to make the head spin around when you come close to them, you can use them to like guard your house, and you can. Right? If you want to make their eyes light up during Halloween, you can. And but we'll like let people know that they can do that, and we'll have like probably like brackets or something so that you can attach an Arduino and then like have them inside basically. So or like have 3D files where you can just like insert them. And we can only do that with Cortex because it's like hard. With vinyl, put them inside, you know, they'll rattle around and it's difficult to get inside. But with this, you can just like open them up and there you go. So that's the future of Smartdoll. And what I will do is instead of making them like talk like this, so the lights over here you can make that like pulse basically like as they're talking.
Yes.
So I think that'll like make more sense for me.
Mm-hmm.
Do a little Knight Rider action.
Yeah. So I've actually got like an Arduino program which does that right now. So yeah, this is like really, really exciting. Yeah, keeps me awake at night.
In a good way?
No, in a good way. Yeah. I'm always thinking about it. And because I came up with electronics afterwards, we're having to like retool like lots of the molds to accommodate like those electronics. So right now, even though we've got like a hole over here, we need to probably change the frame so that like more light comes out from here basically. So for London, I don't think I'll have that in time. It'll probably be like modded, but yeah, I want like lights to like come out like everywhere basically. So like the frame like really goes up to the shell for this hole here and this hole over here. But for the rest, it's like pretty much yeah, quite well illuminated.
So 2027 for Cortex?
No, Cortex is definitely next year.
Okay.
And but at the same time, we like teach folks. We introduce them to the Arduino community. People are already familiar with it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they'll probably get it. Not as in buy one, as in like understand it. Because Arduino boards, they're pretty boring on their own, and you know, people like 3D print like cases for them or whatever. But having Arduino and something like this, I think it like adds like a very different value proposition. So that's my first Knight Rider pulse, which will like show through the chest. So yeah, so this is Arduino over here. So this is not an actual Arduino board because this is open source. We've got like another manufacturer that's made this board over here. Oh shit. Oh yeah. So some batteries basically, when the pull is lower than 5 volts, they like turn off. So so yeah, that's one of them basically. And so Arduino boards are usually this size. So that's a little bit big to like fit inside. So we've got like smaller boards like over here. So this one is that the IoT one? The IoT one's inside over here. So it's just like stuck inside, but we're going to make brackets so that they can fit inside. We're going to basically change the whole frame so that you can fit more inside as well. And then you'll be able to like attach motors, like stepper motors, like different types of sensors, like LCDs. You just get them to do anything. Literally, you can get them to do anything that you want. Based on like what to fit in. Now, if you need to fit more advanced stuff in it, we can have them, you know, give them a little backpack or something, or give them like a hunchback or something. I don't know. But yeah, there's like lots of space in here, and there is like quite a bit of space in the thighs as well. So maybe the microcontrollers can go into the thighs, and then you've got like more space up here to like play with them at the same time as well. But yeah, so this is the direction that we're going into, and yeah, we want to make it as Arduino friendly as possible. So basically what happens is you attach all the bits and pieces to your Arduino, then you attach the Arduino to your computer, then you install the Arduino IDE development kit.
Okay.
And then, so some of these items, like this motor, will require like a special library which you can install from the IDE. then you basically program it to say, I want it to do this, I want it to do this, and so on and so on. And then you can have that programming basically trigger on like various signals you give to it, whether you speak to it, or whether you wave your hand at it, or whether, I don't know, whether it gets dark or whatever. So they can do anything. So
Anything?
So yeah, well, I guess so. But with style, with some particular style. So, but yeah, this is like really exciting. Really exciting. Got some coffee pot in here and there. So previously, you had to basically screw that in. And that really bothered me when I traveled this time. So I've made it. So yeah, so basically magnets go in there. That latches on. Then basically that latches on. So you don't need to unscrew it or anything, just to like remove the part. But this over here, this wasn't designed for electronics at the beginning, so you have to screw it in. So I'm going to retool this so that it's you can screw it in if you want, and that's going to be important when we ship these out to like folks who are, they're not interested in like electronics. We want to give it to the kid, and we don't want it to like fall apart basically. So
Screw it together to be more permanent.
So we'll like screw it together, and I mean they can undo the screws if they want. And but yeah, there's a lot of space in there, but we need to like figure out the frame, which at the moment takes up quite a bit of space inside. So yeah, there's quite a bit of space in there that it takes up.
I don't think I've seen. What version of Evolve are we on now?
This is, I think this is what, 6.1. So this is like Cortex compatible. So they've got like new extra bits over here, which now enable the thighs to latch on. So that hooks inside there, and that locks down basically. So it's like really, really sturdy. It looks quite nice as well. There's stuff that we haven't worked out, and that is the polarity of the magnets. For example, so if we attach these magnets the wrong way, then it's like game over.
Yeah.
Because the parts are going to repel. So that will detect the polarity of the magnet. So you've got north of here, south of here. So at the moment we are having trouble sourcing magnets that show the polarity, so that we don't have to like keep checking all the time.
Okay.
So
Some sort of mark on them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at the moment we have kind of like got a term that we use internally. So there's a brand called the North Face. So we have north facing where the face is facing.
Okay.
So kind of like use that as an analogy to try to remember. But still, it's still prone to like human error. And so that's one thing that we haven't like figured out quite yet. So we originally wasn't going to like ship with magnets. Well, one, there was like the pacemaker issue, and well, like magnets are like everything is. But one of the main issues was trying to like get this polarity like basically. So still need to like figure it out. But yeah, that we'll probably figure out as we go along. I really, really like this. I mean, I know there are like some folks who are not keen about these gaps and so on, but I like it.
Now I know people want to know, like, this is just an additional product, right? The regular girls are not going away.
Yeah. So obviously there's like there's lots of like pros and cons, like both basically. So if you want like a squishy version, you've got like the vinyl, and if you want like something that's you can do, I guess you can do like more, I guess like STEM stuff with. That's going to be this product over here, basically. And if you are into like the cyberpunk aesthetic and so on, then yeah, you'd like this product. So these days, I tend to like take. Where's she? Here. She looks cute. So we've got like a new line of like apparel coming out as well, actually, which accentuates the cyber body properties. Basically.
Those are cool.
Yeah, so these are cyber cargo pants. And things got like cyber attached to them. So this is the new cyber aside the ponytail. So it shows off as much of the body as possible when it's lit up, basically. So so these light up as well. So basically we've done it so that it's, what do you call it, the huggy. I can't remember what you call it in English. It's kind of like at the back over here.
Mm-hmm.
So it does hide the label at the back, but you know that's fine. And then over here, still like playing around with like electronics over here as well. Yeah, that just enables me to attach a USB because I want these to be, want them to be able to that you can attach a USB and they're like lit up all the time. So a lot of toys they run off like a button battery, and they only light up when you push them, and it's kind of boring. But yeah, I want it to be both battery powered and you know when you're going outside you want to like, hey, look at this, you turn it on like this. So so yeah, I take her out a lot, and she's done quite well like out in the national parks and so on. So
Are these stretchy or are they just the twill?
this is this the stretch?
It is a little bit
Slightly
stretchy.
stretchy,
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm changing this a little bit because I think the pocket's a bit too low. So I'm gonna move this up a little bit and move the pockets
It's
up.
a saggy bottom.
Yeah, and so these, when we give them a stone wash, they tend to like fray away. So what we have to do is we have to like sew like a pocket around them, so just to protect them, and then remove them like after they've been like through a stone wash.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, it's coming in quite nicely, and obviously we have like kind of like vinyl characters which you can use with the Cortex body as well. So yeah, I think vinyl will be around for a bit, but I think we will be placing a lot of emphasis on Cortex. I mean, it's been like 10 years, and you know, we want to always like do something different so that I don't get bored. Yeah. I think
Any thoughts of producing some kind of like suit to go over the Cortex so that people don't, like people who don't want all of the holes
They
can
don't want
make it
all the
look
holes.
more-
They can go for vinyl.
Well, you said vinyl. You're going in this direction, so
Oh no, I mean, obviously we're gonna have like both, but I think as a company and as I guess like as someone who wants to create something that interests myself, this is going to be like a huge focus of what we do like in the future, basically.
this is reminding me. I got to thinking about the $6 million man doll and the Bionic Woman doll, and they had that like rubber
Oh, okay.
that you could push up,
Okay.
and then the electronics
Oh,
and everything were there,
okay,
and then you could pull it back down, and they just looked like a normal doll.
Okay. Yeah, you can do something like that. Yeah.
For folks that like the vinyl feel, I don't. This is just coming from a different manufacturing, but we have something called like a soft touch.
Mhm.
Do you know what I?
Yeah, I mean,
Phone
okay,
cases.
Yeah, like a phone case, but still having the Cortex that has that. I don't know.
Oh no, like in the industry,
version
like
of it.
so for Barbie they call it like I think they call it like hair play or like it's kind of more like a psychological thing. Barbie, basically. So we are looking into like softer materials for Cortex, but I think that's going to take like a while to like figure out basically.
Sure.
And so the molds are made for this particular material. So before you start tooling the molds, you have to decide on the material. And the reason is that the molds will be done in a way so that it takes into consideration like shrinkage. So if you put in a different material, it might shrink differently, and you get like lots of different like artifacts in like different areas, which won't work out basically. So this is the reason why like a lot of knockoff products of like dolls or like Gundams, they basically take a Gundam part and try to like retool it, but basically the parts they don't really fit together too well. It's like knockoff Lego bricks. You'll get a part which is like, what's going on? You know? So that's why, and it's just not worth them investing the R&D to like make. They might as well just like make their own from scratch, basically. So, but for them, it's more of like just like cloning something, getting out there. Well, it's cheap anyway. No one's gonna complain about it, you know, type of thing. Really. Last year we had the pair body. Yeah. So obviously this like adds like lots of variety to our collection, and I think it's like really important for us.
I love the Britannia dress on her.
Yeah, she's right. We've got like I think the black and gold one is ready actually, but yeah, we've got like black and gold version as well. So like you're having like different products. It just like keeps us like stimulated, interested, and yeah, I mean a lot of stuff we do is for ourselves rather than focusing on what people want basically. I think you go through life just doing what other people want, you're gonna end up on your deathbed wishing that you just didn't listen to. I mean, there was this interview with like a nurse who basically interviewed like people on their deathbeds basically.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people said, you know, I wish I had the courage to listen to myself rather than listen to other people. You know, that was like one of the main things basically. So yeah, for me, I'm at that age whereby I'm aware that, you know, I don't have that many cycles left over. I mean, I hear like other makers like Kojima, for example. He talks about that as well. You know, he's like 60 years old now. How many more games can he make? You know, he's like in years basically. So that's also another factor in what drives my decisions basically. You know? We can do lots of different things to like just make money, and but it's at the end of the day, you know, I don't want to die of like regrets basically. So whether or not, you know, Cortex is going to be like popular with like folks out there, it doesn't really matter really, as long as I'm happy with it. And
I think it is going to be, and I think it's going to be popular where you're going to get a whole new group of people.
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You know, like when we talked at Anime Impulse, you were saying how you had a lot of people coming up and going that they didn't really like the look of the ball jointed dolls, but now they see the Cortex with the lights behind it and stuff. Now they're in, you know.
So another interesting thing which some people said was, so they don't like ball joints when it's plain on like a human looking one, but when it has this design on either end of the ball joint, it seems to be like more acceptable to people. It's like in Cyberpunk, you know, you got like folks with joints like that. It just like looks, I guess it looks natural, but I'm actually beginning to think that ball joints look a bit too plain against this and this. So we're thinking of making ball joints which basically match the upper arm and bottom arm better, and enable like a wire to be passed through. Because right now, when I wire this, the wire's gonna have to like go on the outside because there's like no space for it to like pass through basically. So yeah, so that's it. Not to show window. Cortex, it would be like the pair body afterwards. I know the guys probably sell much more, but yeah, it's because pairs.
Pair body.
Yeah.
Pair will be next.
Yeah,
Okay.
pair Cortex. Yeah. But obviously, we want to focus on this one first, actually.
And trying to get the same exact design, but
Yeah, so that they can wear the same clothes and
Yeah.
so on. Yeah. So and the body size, you can feel like much more electronics inside them as well.
true.
Yeah, like
They
quite-
can be smarter.
Yeah, smart. I like that. I like that. Yeah, smart.
It's a callback
That's
to
right. Yeah.
the early days.
Yeah.